Hello, and a very good morning to all of you once again. If you just tuned in, you are watching Good Morning Sri Lanka with me, Wasam Ismail, on MTV Sports. And as I said, this is the first show I'm doing after the New Year. And of course, I know a lot of you were really excited to have your holidays during the whole Avurudu period, and some of you might actually be getting into work today after having your long holidays. Of course, some of us were unfortunate and we did start work by about Tuesday. Those of us who are working in corporates, I work for a corporate myself, and but the majority of you have been actually quite lucky where you've been having holidays for a longer period. That being said, Middle East. We're going to go to Middle East right now, where the biggest bridal show actually took place in the Middle East in Dubai, and we've got an interesting video on that which I would like to show you right about now.
The annual Dubai wedding show opened Wednesday at the Dubai International Exhibition Center. On display were graceful white wedding dresses, elegant abayas and glittering jewelry that are indispensable in a Middle East wedding. Even in the 2009 economic recession, the wedding consumption in the United Arab Emirates totaled $20 billion, the highest in the world. At a traditional Middle East wedding, a bride usually wears a whole set of gold jewelry, such as earrings, necklaces, rings and bracelets.
Most young generations now, they are fully aware that there is priorities in life. So what comes first is the important things, then the little other things like parties and stuff, we will do it, but in a logical and reasonable way.
It was reported that the annual gold consumption is 4 kilograms per 100 persons a year. According to the show director, the number of visitors to the show has been increasing at a rate of 5% to 10%, and the trading volume has also increased year by year. Most people coming to the show would spend at least $500 to $1,300 each. Kohler plans to move the show to Qatar, where wedding service is also a lucrative business.
More than anything else in that video, one little thing that actually caught my eye was that the way the lady spoke, and actually when you actually hear her Middle Eastern accent, it is actually something I quite admire. For some reason, I love some of these Middle Eastern accents and the way they pronounce their words so crisply. It was actually a joy to watch and hear her speak. Also, weddings are a huge business, whether it's Middle East or Sri Lanka or anywhere else in the world, and of course, if it is an industry you need to get into to really thrive, and if you market yourself well, as you know, weddings are not something that's going to run out anytime soon in our lifetime. That being said, I'm going to share a little story with you which has actually happened to Selena Gomez. This is actually where an international community, especially the Hindus in America, were a little annoyed by a performance that Selena Gomez did. American Hindu leaders are demanding an apology from Selena Gomez for wearing a bindi symbol on her forehead during her insensitive performance at Sunday's MTV Movie Awards. Now, the bindi on the forehead is an ancient tradition in Hinduism and has religious significance. Rajan Zed, a spokesperson for the Universal Society of Hinduism, had said. Now, it is also sometimes referred to as a third eye and the flame, and it is an auspicious religious and spiritual symbol. It is not meant to be thrown around loosely for seductive effects or as a fashion accessory aiming at a mercantile agreed. Selena should apologize, and then she should get acquainted with the basics of world religions. Now, though Gomez has yet to respond, many of her fans expressed outrage at what they called cultural appropriation during the singer's performance. Come and get it. And of course, sometimes you do things, sometimes with a good intention or not, and people are watching you and they do question you, and this is the nature of us human beings. Now, I'm going to get on to another video where horticulture department organized awareness camps for farmers in India's Kashmir. Check it out.
Horticulture Department in India's Kashmir organized a horticulture expo on Thursday, 11th of April, showcasing latest gadgets which would prove beneficial for the farmers. The purpose of the fair was to make the farmers about new agricultural techniques, and several modern farming equipments were also displayed. Also, to ease the burden on farmers, the provincial government provided them with machinery and other equipments on 50% subsidy. Talking to a reporter, Nazir Ahmed, a farmer hailed the initiative of the provincial government and said that the fair provided them with knowledge of various machines, techniques of using them and buying them at an affordable price. Today, horticulture departments of the state is creating awareness, as just 20% of the population of the state is urban, rest 80% is rural, from which few are landowners and rest 65% are involved in farming. So the government's initiative is helping us. We get all the equipments here which help us in farming. We get spray motors or equipments for digging and various things on 50% subsidy or 30% subsidy, depending upon the equipment. We are also told the techniques to use those equipments. A large number of the farmers thronged the fair so that they were able to reap the benefits of the new technology that was being showcased at the fair. Director of Horticulture Department Sonam Nabu said that the officers deployed at the fair made the farmers aware about the latest equipments.
We use
food sprayer, and even today we give subsidy on food sprayers. Other than that, we also have a lot more things. It is not easy to cover the whole farm area using food sprayers, so there are mechanizations which has come. The farmers demanded more fairs to be organized for their benefit. Stalls of various authorized dealers selling tractors, power tillers and irrigation pump sets, food sprayers, plant protection equipments, power-driven equipments and polygreenhouses were set up at the fair.
Well, if it's one thing we know for sure, the world ain't gonna run out of issues, and I sincerely hope them there at Kashmir, I hope they sort their issues out with horticulture and other relevant things. Now, I'm going to take your attention towards Hollywood again, and this time I'm going to focus a little bit about Tom Cruise and his movie which he's starring in, which is Oblivion, which is supposed to hit this year, 2013. Now, this is a sci-fi movie, and when I mean sci-fi, I mean science fiction, and it's actually got a lot of very popular stars lined up to take on some of the important roles of the movie, and we've got a little bit to show you on that, so check it out.
Tom Cruise may be ways removed from his box office glory days of the 80s and 90s, but the 50-year-old actor is still a major movie star with enough power to shut down Hollywood Boulevard as he arrived for the premiere of his new science fiction film Oblivion on Wednesday, 10th of April. Fans lined up 4 hours ahead of the film screening at the Dolby Theatre in Hollywood, hoping to catch a glimpse of Cruise, who met with fans for nearly an hour, patiently signing autographs and posing for photos. Oblivion, directed by Joseph Kosinski, is based on the Radical Comics graphics novel of the same name by Kosinski and is set in a futuristic 2073 after the Earth has been all but destroyed by an alien invasion. Cruise plays Commander Jack Harper, a drone mechanic and one of the last men left on Earth, who teams up with Morgan Freeman's character Beach to try and save the world.
You know, I think the audience is going to walk, when you look at this film, it is about the triumph of the human spirit. I think that's a classic kind of humanity, ingenuity over, the elements that are against it. And I think that the cool thing about sci-fi is, we get to bring to an audience a world that they've never seen before, something that's very cool, and yet give them a very personal human journey.
The visuals on the film are truly stunning and push the actor to his physical limits.
I've just trained my whole life for different kinds of. I'm always training just for myself and just to make it through movies. But I train pretty much every day my whole life. Even if I'm not doing training, I'm always on my time off. I'll be hiking or climbing or flying planes or riding motorcycles, and it's just something that I do just for sports, and then sometimes for different stunts where it takes several months to train.
For Freeman, the chance to work with Cruise was something the Oscar winner was very interested in.
It was better than I thought it would be, really. And I've watched him grow up, so to speak, in the movies. He goes all the way back to legend. And I've just seen him do some stuff that I thought, gosh, he's phenomenal. He's really he has no breaks. He just, whatever the role calls for, he's out there with it, you know.
Olga Kurylenko, who plays Cruz's wife in the film, told Reuters that the actor could not have been any nicer.
In the first moment before I met him, I was nervous because he's such a big star and I didn't know how he was going to be, and he was just so welcoming and so just relaxed, and he's a cool guy. And I met him, before I did the audition with him, and I felt comfortable right away. That really helped. And of course, once we were working, we were all a family, so once you work on set, you know everybody, and I was very comfortable.
The film also stars Andrea Riseborough and Melissa Leo. Oblivion opens in the US on April 19th.
I don't want to know! You're still an effective team?
We're not an effective team.
They're firing on survivors. Stand down! This is insubordinate behavior.
Why aren't you telling me? Who are you? Help us end this.
You don't have to die. They don't have to die.